I had a conversation with my sons, and one of them I just sensed he felt, man, you're being so hard on me. You know, I said to him, well, I'm your I'm your father. You're my son, and because I see what you're capable of, the potential that you have, the capacity that you have, I see myself in you, and because I see myself in you, I'm not going to treat you like I treat anyone else. Because I see myself in you, I'm not going to talk to you like I talk to anyone else. And I love you. And it's because I love you so much that I'm going to come at you the way that I'm coming at you. It's God's love that makes us who we are. It's God's love that pushes us. It's God's love that convicts us. It's the love of God. If God saw nothing in us, God wouldn't say anything. If God saw nothing in Israel, God wouldn't say a single thing. If God saw nothing in his church in this season, then God would not say a thing. But it's because God sees who he is and who you are and who you're called to, and he sees himself through you, you being his reflection, you whom he put his seed in, you whom he poured his spirit upon, you who he has called to a higher calling, because God knows who you are, because God knows what you're called to. God's not going to let you live like everybody else. He's not going to let you do what everybody else does. Have you ever wondered how everybody else gets away with certain things that you can just never get away with? You ever thought about that? How, man, everybody else can live a certain way, but when I do it, somehow life just hits me a different way. Have you ever wondered why there are things that you can never get away with, but everybody else does, because of who you are called to be, because of God's call on your life, because of God's spirit on you? So yeah, be grateful. Because those times and those moments where you get burned, those times and those moments where you pay, those times and those moments where you're convicted and corrected, that's because of the love of the Father who sees himself in his children. God sees himself in you. And because he sees himself in you, God's not going to tolerate what does not look like him in you. So rather than wrestling with God and contending against God and asking God, why are you coming at me this way? Why do I feel so convicted about this? Why? It's because God has his calling on you. He has his calling on your life. So go be the church, be the presence of God, receive the correction and love. It's the goodness of God that leads us to repentance. So yeah, I'm going to come at my sons a certain way because they're my sons. And if I didn't love them, I would never correct them. If God didn't love us, he would never correct us. So thank God for his love.